Just got done our second day of practice, so we're excited to go. Any questions?
Any questions for Paul Guenther? Vic?
Right, no mic?
Looks like we don't have a mic. Can you just speak up?
Maxx Crosby last week, what did you see from Max, and what do you see his growth being in the last few weeks?
I think he's gotten a lot better. Obviously, he had a lot more opportunity last year to play. He batted a few balls down. He got a fumble over there on the sideline. He had a hustle play. So he's just going to continue to get better, and I think he's going to be a blossoming player. Nevin's here. Yes, he's practicing. We'll decide before the game what his role will be.
Paul, how much of a difference does it make whether it's Mitch Trubisky or Chase Daniels in a sense for the Bears?
You know, Chase has been in the league a long time. He's been in a similar system in Kansas City. Chicago's running the same offense, so he's a smart player. He gets them in and out of good plays. I think probably 37 of the plays the other day against Minnesota, he checked at the line of scrimmage. So he's a very good quarterback. He can move in the pocket. He can make all the throws, and he's an experienced player. So it's a big challenge for us.
Coach, no one knows Vontaze better than you. Can you speak on the suspension and also going forward what that means?
With Vontaze?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think with Vontaze, you know, I think first and foremost, I know the guy very well. I think he's very much understood guy. We do nothing here. John and I teach fundamentals. We teach proper tackling techniques, all that stuff. And I just hope that, moving forward with the decision that the league's going to make on him, that they're just being fair to the kid. We teach it all the time, how to tackle, how to keep the head out. We harp it to all of our guys. And I just hope this isn't just – and I know, again, I'm going to preface that with saying I know he's been warned. But if you look around the league, I saw a quarterback get knocked out of a game the other day, and helmet to helmet, this guy doesn't get ejected. I saw the opening kickoff of the Eagles-Lions game, the right guard knocks helmet to helmet shot, knocks the guy out and stands over him. I saw a guy on the Eagles-Packers game, the first play of the game, the defensive tackle, helmet to helmet, nothing happens. And, I just hope, again, I know Vontaze has been warned on some of the stuff. I just hope it's not, a bunch of cops looking for this only guy going 38 mile an hour in the 30 mile an hour zone. So to be fair to the kid, he's done everything we've asked of him. He's been a great teammate. He was voted unanimously as a captain, and I just hope that the league's fair to him.
Jessica, up front here.
How have you found London? Has it been good having the extra time here, setting in with the time difference?
This is actually my third time doing this. I did it last year with the Raiders and a few years before that with the Cincinnati Bengals. And each time we've come over, we flew out on Thursday, got here Friday morning. But they have the opportunity to be over here, get used to the time clock. I think it's been a big advantage for us. The facility here is beautiful, great hotel space, great meeting space. The field's right here. So it's been really good this way, staying here for the week.
Have you managed to see the stadium yet?
I have not. I haven't really left the hotel, really. I go from my room to my meeting room to practice field so far. So maybe I'll definitely see it on Sunday. I heard it's a beautiful stadium.
Paul, I'm way in the back. But it's just having somebody like Whitehead be able to move into the middle. He's in his second year in this scheme. He's called signals. For you, does that at least make the transition easier, knowing that you have somebody who's been there and done that?
Yeah, Tahir's capable of handling all that. He did it for us a year ago. He was doing some of it already. When Vontaze got ejected from the game the other day, Tahir went in there and handled it seamlessly. So he'll be the head role in that thing, and I think he'll do a really good job for us.
Paul, I know you said in the past that it would have been nice to be able to work with Khalil Mack as a defensive coach, just as a guy who watches the game as you do, and you watch him. Can you speak on the player that he is, and maybe perhaps did you ever harken back to like, man, that would have been really cool to at least be able to work with him?
Well, that was one of the selling points of taking the job, really. I mean, any coach really would want to coach that guy. He's a tremendous athlete. He's a hard worker. I watched the practice film when he was here. He worked hard on the practice field. From what I understand, I don't know him really that well. He's a really good guy, a really good teammate, and I enjoy watching him. It would have been a pleasure to coach him, but it didn't work out that way, and now we have to play against him on Sunday. So a good player. I really admire his work.
With your defense putting on a show a bit last week and having a really solid performance, making big plays when they needed to, and overall looking really strong, but then having a little mishap at the end where they gave up a touchdown they maybe didn't feel they needed to.
Yeah.
How much are you focusing this week on making sure that there's none of those plays where that little mistake gives up 3 points against such a difficult to score on team?
Yeah, we talked about that last touchdown. It was, we had a little blitz called there, and we just got to understand situational football. And instead of going for the interception in that situation, let's get the guy in the ground. Let's live to play another down so they don't continue to have an opportunity to tie the game up maybe with an onside kick. But I think as a young team, we just got to continue to understand those little situational stuff that really only happens in games. It's really the only way you can learn it. You try to rep that stuff on the practice field, but really you got to learn throughout the games in those things. So.
How has new general manager Mike Mayock settled into the new front office?
He's doing a great job. I've known Mike it's a funny story. I was a head coach when I was 25 years old of a small college outside of Philadelphia, and his father was a longtime high school coach. And I went in there and I had about 5 schools that I was going to go recruit that day. I went in his office about 6:30 a.m. and he took me through the whole Philadelphia area. You got to go see this guy. You got to go see this guy. So I spent the whole day with his dad. And he goes, by the way, you got to meet my son Mike. You guys would really get along. So Mike at that point was he was selling real estate a long time ago and doing TV announcing. And he and I met and hit it off. And we always said one day we'd work together. And now it's come to fruition. He's done a great job for us already. He's really on top of the landscape of the NFL, the colleges, and all that stuff. So I think moving forward, it's going to be a big asset for us.
You got more questions?
Ask about Benson. He was inactive last week. Is that just the way it was trending, or what?
Yeah, and Benson, he was dealing with a little something with his knee. He had a little bone bruise on his knee, so he didn't practice throughout the course of the week. And we decided to go, instead of going with 9 D-line, we brought Legion up to see what he could do. And Legion did a really good job for us. So it's just a matter of getting him rest and making sure he was ready to go.
2 more questions, guys.
Yep.
After, obviously, the unfortunate loss of Jonathan Abram, who looked really good to start his career with the Raiders, how much are you impressed that the other guys seem to have stepped up and rallied around the fact that they're doing it without him now?
Well, Jonathan's a tremendous player. So I was really looking forward to seeing him play. It's unfortunate we lost him in the first ball game. But I've always told the guys, listen, you got to prepare like you're a starter, whether you're not, because it can happen in one snap and all of a sudden you're stuck in the game. You got to know what to do. So we try to rep those guys throughout the course of training camp and OTAs in the spring, so when that time comes, those guys can go in. And obviously Eric went in there last week, played a lot of snaps at safety, Eric Harris, and came up with a big play for us at the end to really seal that game.
Hi, Coach. Charles from Nexus and O's team here.
Yep.
Just a general question. So I play defensive tackle in the UK, and it was an honor to actually see the defensive line practice. So what I want to ask is, what is the biggest thing you look for in your front line?
Well, it really all depends. If you're an inside tackle, you got to be able to push the pocket and play really good in the run game. And then if you're an outside guy, we're looking for length, longer guys that can reach and lock guys out and have some speed off the edge as pass rushers. So if you can get a defensive lineman can play the run really effective and rush the passer, you're really winning on both sides. So if you can only get one guy who can play the run and then one guy who can play the pass, you're really 2 for 1. So if you can find a guy that does both, you're really going to help your team.